Harff family was living, and he described how the Harff family looked like. It's a translation from Hebrew, so excuse me if it's not quite there. So the Harff house, have you ever seen it, wasn't as wondrous as Versailles or the Hampton Towers near London. Definitely not wondrously fancy like Mr. Kept von Buller's estate named Hugel next to Essen, nor like the Franschhoel house of Dr. George Hirschland in the day.
To find out where we all belong in this family, we can do this one at a time. There were 5 children: Elizabeth, Werner, Irmgard, Günther, and Ernst. So I thought we should start with the oldest, Elizabeth, and have her family stand up.
Benjamin, John, and then I have Bridget. And where's Camilla?
And next we have Roger.
Hello, I'm Roger. I'm the unusual one because I'm the Christian priest in the family. Well, you know, you didn't have one in the family. This is, I know Hannah's mother, Gila's mother always used to say this family is like a little United Nations of its own. So we have a bit of everything. So yes, I've been married to Sarah, who's not with us, and she's not with me either at the moment. And I have 2 daughters, Rebecca, who's brought our good friend Angus with her. And Deborah.
That's Deborah.
Okay, the next is the middle child, Irmgard.
Nigel. She's confused. No more wine, huh?
I'm the atheist of the family. My name's Nigel, and I've been an alcoholic for...
I got this.
Now I'm laughing.
Take it one day at a time.
Exactly. I'm on the half method. So yes, I'm the youngest.
Is that your bottle down there, Joe?
He just found it there.
Follows me around. Like my brother said, Ermel, Hannah and Gila and Jonah's mother, used to talk about the United Nations of our family, so I thought I'd do my bit. So this is my wonderful wife, Enke from Mongolia. And yet again, 3 children. First of all, Uzbolt.
Hey guys.
And then we have Catherine. And last but not least, young Emily.
Okay, I apologize.
Done on purpose.
Done on purpose.
She was anxious to get into it.
I'm the oldest of 3 children, and I'm here.
Who was your mother?
Irmgard was my mother. She was the middle child. I don't know if she had all the middle child traits, but she was our mother. So I'm here with my wife Miriam. 2 of our 4 children, Zenovish, and little Hannah. Okay, Gila, you're on.
I I'm Gila, as most of you know, and my husband David is across the room. Unlike Eyal and Deganit, after 40-some years, he's there and I'm here. You have something to look forward to. And our children are Julia, who isn't here, and Peter, who isn't here, unfortunately. And we have 2 grandsons, Caleb and Owen, who are 11 and 7. And I yield the floor to my brother, Yona. Yona.
Otherwise known as Joan. And I have 2 children by a prior wife, Patricia, Rebecca, and Aaron. Currently married to Deborah. And I'm not an alcoholic yet.
Working on it.
And the fourth of the 5 children was Gunter, and he had 2 children. And Karen.
I'm Karen, and I'm not married, I have no children. So I'll give it to my sister who has all of that.
I'm Monica, I'm married to Howard. Children are Harley and Grady. My mother-in-law, Estelle.
זאת האמא שלה?
חמותה.
חמותה.
The youngest child, Ernst, had a partner, Mike, and they did not have children. And they are both deceased.
And then,
So, we want to introduce our cousin on the Goldschmidt side, which, when we permitted them to come. This is Steve.
I'm married to Crystal, and Crystal is a cousin, Gila can explain that later. Unfortunately, Crystal is staying with her mother because her mother in the hospital. And I have my son David with me, who knows to do that. Unfortunately, he is up in his room, he's got some pain problem in his neck, and he just took some Advil.
He's that other handsome young man.
Your daughter's coming. Yeah, my daughter, Nicole, is coming tomorrow.
Did I say that Esty was coming tomorrow?
yeah.
Said that. See, that's my memory myself.
And we've covered everybody here. I have to say, our grandparents had a great, particularly our grandfather, had a great sense of humor. So I think you've all done him proud here, and I'm glad it's continuing in the next generations, I have to say that. So I think Nigel wants to say something.
What? All right, forgot already. Well, we're going to. This is impromptu, but I got this from Roger. Sent me this. My brother Roger sent me this, which is a picture.
I got it from Jenny.
Been around the world.
All around, but we're all talking about Harff, and anyway, this is who he is, and I've got a copy for maybe later. I can give it to basically the head of each sort of house. But this is who we're talking about. So, and this was done. This was taken in 1916. A portrait done. That would have been, I think it says 11th of February. So that's just before my father was born. Maybe 1 month before my father was born. So, and that was in the First World War, while he was obviously fighting on the side of the Germans against the British. And then obviously, ironically, my father ended up fighting on the opposite side in the Second World War, so it's quite confusing. But we have copies of this, which I can then, pass on and give to everybody. I've also got a sort of bag full of photos of various times and various events and various gatherings, which I'll have and I'll put out some maybe on a table or something, and people can flick through. There's various people's weddings. I think Karen, your wedding is here. I think your wedding is here. These are photos that my father took, and I was sorting them out a couple of months ago, and I thought, I'll bring some here. So there's quite a few interesting ones. And if you want to know who anybody is, probably, well, first of all ask Gila, because she knows. But if not, if she's indisposed, then I will do my best.
You know, one of the things you need to hear, the first time, our first family reunion, most of you were not born yet. I was 19 years old, so it was a long time ago.
1965. Yeah.
1965. You didn't have to say it, but. Anyway, Nigel was 5 years old at the time. He was the youngest.
I was
He
the
was
youngest.
the
This
youngest.
little lad here. So, yeah.
No, you were like Daya. You were Daya's age.
Yeah, I was 5 years old.
Not as pretty. But anyway, we had one dinner. I think Monica was looking at the pictures from that gathering. That was the first gathering. And I want to tell you two things about it. First of all, we had one special dinner at a restaurant in Cloisters called the Cesa Grishuna, across from the hotel. And we sort of had speeches and so on. And Amu, I think could not, she wrote a speech and she had Uncle Ernst read it because she was too she said she had a cold, but I think she thought she would cry if she read it. So, but one of the things she said in that speech was how important family is. And she said, never, ever, ever forget that you are one family, ever. And she said to us, help each other, remember each other, etc. So that's why Uncle Vernon and Uncle Gunter continued that tradition and had other reunions to which some of us were able to come and some couldn't. The other thing I want to tell you about the Harff ring, which Roger is wearing. Where's Roger? And that was the first time the family had sort of a celebration away, also in Switzerland. And that was for Amu and Apu's, my grandparents, your great-grandparents or great-great-grandparents' 25th wedding anniversary. And Amu had these rings designed, which each child got. And that is where this harf and star came from. She designed it, and it ended up on their silver, and so on. The star is for her maiden name, Stern. And the harf is for harp, it means harp in German, for our grandfather's name. So you can look at Roger's ring, but that is the sort of the harf crest, we call it. So anybody else want to say something?
I just want to say something about Vernon, that he went to every funeral, wedding, everything.
He was there.
Which was a lot of, yeah, he's
He
the
was
only one who
always
did
there.
that.
He went to everything. We have the Harff family movie for you young ones, if you want to look at it. And you can see the Harff house is described by George Goodman. I can tell you from the Harff house that they had the same thing for dinner. Every Monday they had certain things. Every Tuesday they had the same meal. Every day of the week was a certain meal. And a cousin of theirs, Hannah Fruchter, told me that she would be invited to dinner and she would have to think, now what are they serving tonight? Oh yes, I can come. Or what are they serving tonight? No, sorry, I'm busy. Because she knew what was being served and certain things she liked and other things she didn't. So they were very set in their way. I mean, that was the way of life in Germany at the time. Okay.
That's not a full-length feature. Yeah?